Tonight, possible transit trouble.
If they go on strike again, it's going to be devastating.
What a looming deadline in a labor dispute means for Grand River Transit. Back on two wheels.
Safety is most important to me because, you know, I'm a dad, I'm a family man.
A seasonal surge in motorcycles with a plea.
One of the biggest causes we see with motorcycle collisions is speed.
To everyone on the roads. Plus, is it the end of the lanes?
It's just kind of become a part of our lives the last 12 years.
Questions about the future of a Kitchener bowling mainstay. Good evening. The clock is ticking down to a potential Grand River Transit disruption. More than 800 workers are in a legal strike position as of Friday. And while there's been no notice yet that they'll actually go on strike, those who rely on transit services are anxiously waiting for updates. CTV's Heather Senerin reports.
The union, representing about 850 Grand River Transit workers, will be in a legal strike position as of 12:01 a.m. Friday. Unifor Local 4304 told CTV News there would be a 48-hour notice if they were to strike, and they say their employer agreed to serve 48-hour notice if they lock out members. If a strike or lockout happens, all buses, including Mobility Plus, would stop running and customer service locations would be closed. Ion train service will continue as it is operated by Keolis.
It mostly means that I'm going to have a lot harder time getting home. Like, it's going to take me like a good hour and something just to get home.
The union represents GRT workers, including operators, maintenance techs, service attendants, and reservationists. If there is a GRT strike, this would be the third in 5.5 years. There was one January 2020 and then another in May 2023. Both of them lasting just over 1 week. This was the executive director of KW Accessibility during the last strike. He says Mobility Plus buses are a critical service.
People don't use Mobility Plus because it's fun to do. They use it because there are no other alternatives. So if they go on strike again, it's going to be devastating.
He says many people are on edge, waiting to see if a deal is reached.
The anxiety levels are already through the roof with our members and people that I've talked to. You know, they're worried. They don't know what they're going to do. How are they going to get groceries? You know, how are they going to go to the doctor?
On GRT's website, officials say to plan ahead and make alternate transportation options. In a statement posted online earlier this week, Unifor said they are working to avert a strike and that a strike is not inevitable, but the region must work with them to achieve a fair collective agreement that addresses wages, scheduling, and benefits. Both the union and region telling CTV News talks will continue in the hopes that a deal will be reached. Heather Senerin, CTV News Kitchener.
And of course, we'll keep you posted here on CTV News as that deadline draws closer. While they are known as ghost guns, privately made firearms that are hard to trace, today Toronto police showed off the results of a crackdown called Project Cluster, aimed at taking 3D printed guns off the streets. CTV's John Musselman has details.
All the guns on this table at Toronto Police Headquarters were made using a 3D printer. They function just like a traditional firearm, and criminals use them because they can't be traced like a gun bought in a store or smuggled across the border.
You have the 3D printed frames, and then you have other components that are purchased, and when combined, you get a fully functioning firearm.
Toronto police seized these weapons as part of Project Cluster. It was launched in November 2025. After police received a tip from the RCMP about suspicious online ads on a firearms website. A suspect was arrested a short time later. The accused has been identified as 28-year-old Toronto man Brian Narciso. He's facing charges including manufacturing a prohibited firearm, firearm trafficking, and reckless discharge of a firearm endangering life. The last charge is related to at least 6 of the guns being fired in a secluded park area near Caledonia and Lawrence Avenue West. That happened between June and October of 2025. More than 100 shell casings and spent rounds were found in what investigators believe was an area used to test out these guns. In one incident, a nearby business was hit by a stray bullet. Police refer to these weapons as ghost guns, and they are becoming more common.
I can tell you in the last 6 months, we've seized approximately 10 functional 3D printed and about 16 3D printed frames.
These charges include a newer offense under Canadian law, possession of computer data for the purpose of manufacturing or trafficking firearms. That's significant. It reflects how policing and the law are adapting to an evolving threat.
The accused made his first court appearance in February.
And that was CTV's John Musselman reporting. Time now for a first look at the weather. Let's head over to Ashley Bacon in studio for all the details. One more day of April tomorrow. Feels like we've kind of rewound, though, to the end of March. Boy, it's getting cool and rainy.
I know. It's hard to believe that May is just around the corner, Tony, because it is a little cooler by the tail end of this week. It should feel, like you said, closer to March than May weather. But the good news is, although it's cooler temperatures, we should see the return of the sun, at least in part. As we take a look at our radar right here, there's a lot of green on the board. We're pretty much out of the woods for the moment in Waterloo region when it comes to heavier rain. We might see some spotty showers through the overnight hours and then again tomorrow afternoon. But we also should see the sun returning a little bit tomorrow morning. So that's good news. Right now, 9 degrees, a light 11-kilometer-an-hour wind, so not too windy out there. And as we look across the southern part of Ontario, 8 degrees for Windsor, 5 in Sarnia, 11 in London, and again 9 here. So overall temperatures are a little cooler than we would like to see, but as I said, snow may or may not be on the way. We will keep an eye on some overnight temperatures coming up in a few days. Those details coming up with your full forecast, Tony.
All right, something to watch out for. Ash, thank you. We'll talk to you shortly. Educators from right across Ontario united today for what they called a province-wide day of action. They wanted to draw attention to what they say is the underfunding of the education system and the growing challenges teachers are facing. CTV's Jeff Pickle spoke with union leaders here in the region, as well as local teachers. Jeff, what do they have to tell you?
Well, Tony, overall, they feel the Ford government is not doing enough when it comes to the public education system. They say these are the same issues they've been hearing from the unions for a while when it comes to class sizes and teacher safety, and they say it's not getting any better.
It's time to let people know that I've been doing this a long time. Things have changed gradually over the years, worse and worse and worse. We're hitting those tipping points. We don't see anything positive in the future. It's hurting classes, it's hurting families, and it's making it so tough for anyone involved in the education system. Change has to happen. We need it now.
And rallies like this happening across the province as teachers and school staff join together, hoping to get the public's attention and the attention of the education minister. According to the Elementary Teachers Union, over 250,000 members across the province are pledging their support. The unions say education funding is not keeping up with inflation and is not meeting the needs of the classroom. In particular, union leaders say growing classroom sizes are a major concern.
Right now, we've got a big campaign for smaller class sizes. And the intent for that is, when there's less kids in a classroom, every kid gets more individual attention.
When education funding is not maintained or it's continuously cut, we can't expect the education system to maintain its current function.
We know that smaller class sizes will enable our workers to better meet the needs of the students that we're seeing now in education.
And the education minister limited in their statement, saying only that the minister looks forward to continuing his work with the dedicated and passionate educators as they work towards the shared goal of strengthening the system. Tony?
Okay, Jeff, thank you. CTV's Jeff Pickle on those rallies today. Okay, turning now to some local sports stories we're keeping a close eye on. The Kitchener Rangers are hoping to take a decisive lead in the OHL Western Conference Final in Windsor tonight. The Rangers are leading that best-of-7 series 2-1, but every game's been close. Here's what the Spitfires coach had to say going into tonight.
The two best teams going at it, and every game's been extremely close, one goal, and there's been posts, there's been lots of chances to win games.
Puck drop for Game 4 just after 7 in Windsor tonight, and then the series will switch back to the odd for Game 5 on Friday. Meanwhile, the Brantford Bulldogs could punch their ticket to the OHL final after a decisive win over the Barrie Colts in the Eastern Final last night.
Malhotra gets this one down the ice, beating the icing's Paquette with some momentum to the net. Backhand scores! Charlie Paquette with the afterburners gets to that loose puck to beat the icing, and now it's a 5-1 hockey game.
That was Charlie Paquette's second goal of the night, and he wasn't the only Bulldog to double down. Cooper Dennis notched a pair as well to help give Brantford a healthy lead. Caleb Malhotra added insult to injury in the final frame, putting up a 6-1 victory for the Brantford Bulldogs. So Brantford aims to finish things up in this series on home ice tomorrow night. And it all ends tonight in the Basketball Super League. The KW Titans are looking to become the champions in a winner-takes-all Game 5 against the Sudbury Five. CTV's Karis Mapp is joining us now, live from the Odd in Kitchener. Tip-off set for just under an hour from now. Hi, Karis. How are things down there?
Well, Tony, things are a little quiet. Fans are starting to make their way in. Both teams have taken to the court, getting ready for this big matchup. Game 5, like you said, championship. And I'm actually joined here by KW Titans power forward Ty Pickett. He was a big part of the season, but is actually out with a hamstring injury. But Ty, can you tell me how you're feeling and some of the emotions that you've heard your teammates speaking about this game specifically tonight?
We're just dedicated tonight because we know this is a big chance for us to make history. So everybody's just locked in. You know, we had a nice little team meeting yesterday, and everybody got what they wanted to get off their feelings and stuff and how they feel about going into today's game. So it's all positive.
Absolutely. And coming off of back-to-back losses in Sudbury, you just said some of the mental work that went into it, but what were some of the physical things that your coaches were talking about that could be done on the court to have a better outcome tonight?
More rebounding, being more physical, not letting them shoot the three, 50-50 balls, hustling, diving on the floor, making all those plays really would have helped us win. But we knew going into Sudbury was going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. We're never... you're never handed anything, or given anything. So we just had to go there and take it, but we fell short. But tonight it's a different story.
And then just looking ahead, nothing in the past is in the past. Quickly, can you talk about the importance and what it brings to have a home court advantage, especially for a Game 5 like tonight?
It's great, honestly, because now we got our fans, our wonderful fans, Titan fans involved. So the atmosphere is going to be different. So now we play in a level field. And it's just going to be a great atmosphere, honestly.
Perfect. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time tonight. You heard that, Tony? They're getting ready. They're mentally and physically in this one. Like you already said, tip-off is in just under an hour at 7 p.m.
All right, sounds good. Karis Mapp with that courtside report as we look ahead to that deciding Game 5 tonight in the Basketball Super League Final. Karis, thank you. And don't forget to start your day with the CTV Kitchener newsletter. We've got a daily look for you at the day's top stories, the latest weather forecast, and some must-see videos. You can sign up by heading over to our website. Of course, you'll find that at ctvnewskitchener.ca. A number of Laurier Golden Hawks heard their names called at last night's CFL draft. In fact, it's the school's biggest draft class in nearly 40 years. And CTV's Colton Weens will tell us who was picked and where they're going coming up.
And could a beloved bowling alley in Kitchener be closing for good? The growing fight to save Frederick lanes and why bowlers say they'd be losing more than just a place to play. I'll have that story after the break.
Well, temperatures expected to dip to the freezing mark tonight, but believe it or not, this is the warmest overnight low for the next few days. Those details with your full weather forecast coming up.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We go to a dramatic scene unfolding.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvkitchener.ca, your home for news. When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
A Kitchener bowling alley may be nearing its final frame. There's concern that AMF Frederick lanes could soon close. Customers say they caught wind of some changes from staff earlier this week, and bowlers are scrambling to try to save the space. CTV's Spencer Turcotte went to AMF a little earlier today to speak with some of those bowlers. Spencer, they're taking this pretty hard.
Definitely a lot of heartbreak and confusion. The company hasn't put out anything publicly on this, but it's not looking promising, considering staff have been told they're out of work as of next Wednesday. At noon on a Wednesday, the lanes are full. The parking lot is packed, and the sound of strikes echo through AMF Frederick lanes.
It's just kind of become a part of our lives the last 12 years.
But regulars fear those sounds could soon go silent.
We had found out Monday after the staff were told. A decision had come down that they were closing the center as of May 6th.
CTV News made multiple attempts to contact U.S.-based Lucky Strike Entertainment, which owns the Kitchener bowling alley, for confirmation of the closure. Those calls and emails weren't returned before air, but all signs point to uncertainty, considering no lane reservations are available on the company website beyond Saturday.
I immediately went into one of the stages of grief, which is, well, I typically start fighting. I'm denial.
CTV News also went inside to speak with management and get confirmation, but we were asked to leave. But passionate bowlers are speaking up in efforts to save the 32-lane facility.
You do have local bowling alleys, but they're not really made or set up for league bowling. They're just more entertainment purposes.
It's obviously untenable to go to Burlington Bowl or like some other place that's an hour away 3 times a week for recreation.
Frederick Lanes has even had local bowlers use the facility to train for international competitions representing Canada. A petition to save the lanes is now gaining traction. The hope is to either have the parent company of AMF reverse the apparent decision to shut down, or have someone else purchase the space to ensure it stays as a bowling alley.
It's devastating. It hurts, but I'm hoping, through our petition, we can try to slow the process down.
But with not much time to spare, all they can do for now is make every game count. Again, not much is known about what's happening to the building or why the bowling alley is supposedly closing, but Tony, we do know the loyal customers are fighting to keep the pins standing.
Sounds like it. Okay, Spencer, thank you. CTV's Spencer Turcotte on that story for us. The Wilfrid Laurier Golden Hawks heard their name called numerous times last night. 5 different football players were drafted to the CFL, the largest class the school has sent to the pros in more than 30 years. CTV's Colton Weens has more.
It's all smiles for Jesu Laiomi Ojutalayo after he got the call Tuesday night that he was drafted by the CFL's Calgary Stampeders.
I'm really excited I started that. I'm getting the opportunity to go play professional football and just going to give glory to God at the end of the day.
The 6'2", 209-pound wide receiver was taken in the 3rd round, 26th overall by the Stamps.
I was here at the Hawk Lounge. I was with my family, friends, and just they were all excited for me.
A 2025 OUA first-team All-Star, the Shelburne, Ontario native says he will head to Calgary soon to try and earn a spot on the field.
So I've heard good news. Jason McGugan is over there right now, and he's a former teammate of mine. Coach Cam, who's a former coach at Laurier, is also over there working there right now. So it's just good to have familiar faces over there, so I'm just looking forward to that.
Ojutalayo wasn't the only Laurier player drafted on Tuesday. In fact, 5 names were called, the most Golden Hawks taken in 39 years.
I'd say proud is an understatement. We want to see team success, but we also want to see our players go on and achieve personal success, which is the CFL. And so to have such a big number at 5, I'm not surprised. They are all deserving, but it's a great night for Laurier football.
What do you mean? And then he's like, it says Edmonton right here. Offensive lineman Spencer Walsh was taken by the Edmonton Elks 32nd overall in round 4. The Brantford native tore his ACL this season and was surprised to go so early.
It's definitely an unbelievable feeling. I didn't think I was going to get taken in this year's draft due to my situation, but to be taken that high, it just was a surreal feeling, you know, especially seeing all the other guys go on the team at Laurier.
Walsh's teammate and fellow Brantfordian Ryan Spate was the final name called in the draft, taken 74th overall by Saskatchewan. Spate also tore his ACL this season and believes he'll be back with Laurier in the fall, but is set on getting healthy and competing for a Riders roster spot.
Pretty surreal, especially with getting hurt this past season. I think getting picked last is kind of, it fits the story, so I'm happy. I can't complain.
Laurier's Josh Connors and Sebastian Parsalides were also drafted in the final round, and Galloway thinks at least 4 other Golden Hawks could have gone pro.
It's a great group, and there's lots of talent in that locker room, and I hope we keep this up for years to come.
Colton Weens, CTV News, Waterloo.
And speaking of Waterloo, a live look toward the Waterloo skyline right now from our tower camera as we get a bit of a sunset peeking through that layer of cloud along the western horizon. We are going to have even more clouds rolling in, though, later this week, and some temperatures that could be, well, will be below zero, according to the forecast. Ashley's back in just a couple of moments with those details. Also coming up, back out on the roads. Spring means more motorcycles on our highways. The message to all drivers from police about getting where you need to go safely. Next, though, picking apart the spring economic update as the opposition asks, where's the help for struggling Canadians? All right, Ashley's here now with our forecast, and a bit of a dicey day today.
A little turbulent.
Yeah, a little turbulent.
There's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Would look outside 1 minute, and it's kind of like, all right, it's just overcast, and then it was raining, and then it was overcast, and then it was raining. So, yeah, it was the kind of day that just wouldn't give up.
I needed a hat, and I needed a warmer than light jacket, and some rubber boots to take the dog out.
All good calls.
You know, very spring-like in many ways, and as we all know, it can be really weird this time of year for weather, and this week is no exception. Let's take another look from outside. As you said just before the break, Tony, what a nice shot. That sun is trying to make an appearance, at least for sunset, breaking through the clouds. Really beautiful look from our tower cam this afternoon. And of course, we are getting a bit of a break from that rain right now, but don't get too comfortable. Keep those umbrellas handy. We're going to see spotty showers potentially through the overnight hours and then again tomorrow afternoon. As we take a look at our futurecast, we're pretty much in the clear at the moment. We're seeing a bit of cloud cover and some lingering haze, but overall that rain has essentially stopped, at least for now. Again, you might see a spotty shower through the overnight hours, but again tomorrow afternoon, that's when we start to get a little bit more. However, later in the afternoon, the sun should be shining. So I said it in the 5 o'clock show. It's a kind of a week where we need sunscreen, sunglasses, a hat, and maybe even umbrella and a winter jacket, because things are going to be a little bit of everything. As we get into Friday, again, spotty conditions. We might see a bit of cloud cover. We will see a little bit of sun, a little bit of everything. On the West Coast right now, beautifully sunny afternoon, 19 degrees in Prince George, 17 in Vancouver, 16 in Edmonton with a bit of sun. Over in Saskatoon, 12 with the sun, and Regina, 11 degrees. It's a little colder in Winnipeg, 5 degrees there. Over towards the East Coast, our nation's capital, it's raining in 12. 11 and a bit of rain in Toronto still. Windsor still sitting at 11 degrees with a bit of sunshine. As we head towards the East Coast, it's nice and sunny in St. John's, 2 degrees, 10 in Fredericton, 8 for Charlottetown. So not a bad day. Definitely cooler temperatures right across the board compared to yesterday. 9 degrees still in Waterloo region, 10 for London, 8 in Windsor. So it is all a little bit all over the place. As I mentioned earlier, temperatures going down to 0 tonight. Could mean those showers we may see converts into flurry activity. But the good news is temperatures are going to rebound tomorrow back to 11 degrees. So if by chance there are any flurries, they're not going to stick around. As I mentioned, an afternoon shower is expected as well. And just to put it in perspective, back in 2012, minus 3.9 was the overnight low record set. Now keep that number in mind as we take a look at our 7-day forecast starting in Waterloo region, because check out those overnight lows. Minus 4 for Thursday, Friday, minus 5 for Saturday. So potentially record-breaking low evenings ahead. Now, of course, it says showers, but if those temperatures and those showers happen, we could also see some flurry activity there. As we move into Lambton, Kent, Essex, similar conditions, a little bit warmer. -1 for your overnight on Thursday. Pardon me, 0 for Friday and Saturday. And lastly, in southern Georgian Bay, now, unfortunately, you folks might have a better chance of seeing some flurry activity. A snow mix and rain could be felt Thursday, Friday, and then again on Monday. Those overnight lows, though, at -4 and -6, you know, might paint a different picture in that region. Okay, let's take a look at today's Weather Watcher picture sent in from Janet, who took this spring picture along the Grand River a couple of days ago. And that is what I would like to see, a return to Monday's weather when we had some sunshine, and they're out on a kayak, it looks like.
Looks like kayaking, yeah.
And I can't wait to get my paddleboard out, Tony. I am itching for the summer season to get here.
Do you have a paddleboard?
I do. I'm a big paddleboarder.
I was not aware of this.
Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a talented one, but I enjoy it.
Okay, well, I love water skiing. So
let's go.
It's what did you not know about Tony and Ashley night?
You know, we're going to have to take an afternoon, maybe a show on the road.
We're trying to draw summer in.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing. All right. Thanks, Ash.
Thank you.
Well, more criticism today from the opposition to the federal Liberals' spring fiscal update. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre slammed the lack of specifics, especially on affordability. CTV's Mike Lecouture has more.
I know I'll speak slowly for the Liberal mathematicians on the other side of the House because
conservative criticism of the spring economic update continued to focus on government spending.
More cost, more debt, more taxes, more on the national credit card, and more interest payments for Canadians.
The Prime Minister defended his plan and the government's programs.
We're building the country strong for all, including Canada's youth, the biggest investment in apprenticeships in our history.
While the economic update did detail the $5.9 billion training program, it was lacking when it came to the $25 billion sovereign wealth fund and where that money will come from. The spring update did mention unlocking the value of airports. In Montreal, the finance minister did not rule out their privatization.
There might be different type of ownership that might be providing better value for money for Canadians, because after all, it's their assets.
Information about Canada's military spending was also absent from the economic statement. Last month, Canada announced it hit the NATO target of spending 2% of GDP on defense. And Carney has committed this country to a new spending pledge of 5% by the year 2035.
We've got a 10 years to get to 5%. We're only in year 1, and we're moving very quickly. We've got an extra $82 billion to spend over the next 5 years. And we're going to review the spend in 2029, as are all NATO countries.
They had to put in a huge amount of money overall anyway, but that amount is getting bigger if we can keep in pace with the growth in the Canadian economy.
The Secretary of State for Defense Procurement also points out the government wants to scale up domestic military production, believing it could create more jobs in this country. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
One of the key promises in the federal update was nearly $6 billion for the trades. CTV's Adrian Gobriel now on what that's expected to mean for the workforce.
The sturdiness and strength of the trades in Canada in part begins here.
Insulation, drywall, taping.
The founder and CEO of the Skilled Trades College, Ralph Cerasuolo, believes a large part of the country's future rests in the hands of his graduates.
The ratio of tradesmen that leave the workforce and that enter it is 7 to 1 across North America. So for every 7 that leave, it gets replaced with 1 individual, and that's a compounding problem year over year over year.
BuildForce Canada has estimated a potential labor shortage of 385,000 workers in the construction trades by 2034, with 20% of the current workforce expected to retire over the next decade. Devin Forbes is hoping to be part of the solution. As a student, he has his eye on becoming an HVAC specialist.
A lot of people feel stuck sometimes, and I feel like the trades is the way out.
Though Forbes wouldn't have been able to afford his tuition without receiving a scholarship from the private sector, he believes an influx of federal funding would help students like him achieve Red Seal status in the skilled trades.
The amount of things that I learn every day, that I feel every day when I wake up tomorrow, I know I'm doing better than I did yesterday.
Merci tout le monde.
In this week's federal budget, Ottawa announced $5.9 billion over 5 years to recruit, train, and hire upwards of 100,000 new red-sealed skilled trades workers by 2031. Chair Solo believes the multi-billion-dollar announcement speaks to just how desperate the shortage of trade workers has become.
Does nation building happen in Canada without the trades?
Absolutely not. You can't have one without the other.
Those here at the Skilled Trades College also tell us that an important component to filling the labor shortage gap is helping young Canadians understand that this is a highly respected professional career path vital to building Canada's future. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Woodbridge, Ontario.
From selling to storing, just ahead on CTV News, a sign of the changing times. What's being proposed at the former site of a flagship Hudson's Bay store in Toronto?
A Day is back on 105.3 Virgin Radio. Listen to Jeff KP and Backstage Ben for your chance to win $5,000 every weekday. 5K a day. Virgin Radio.
As expected, the Bank of Canada kept its benchmark interest rate steady at 2.25%. Governor Tiff Macklem saying global events will be watched closely along with inflation. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver now on maintaining the status quo for now and what it means for business and housing.
At Parkview Moving, the high cost of gas is making it harder and harder to run a profitable business, offering short and long-haul moves.
It's very difficult, and we don't want to pass that extra burden or cost on to our clients, so we're absorbing a lot of that cost ourselves.
And they're not alone. The war in Iran is driving up oil prices and squeezing both Canadian businesses and consumers. That spike, a main reason the Bank of Canada now sees inflation peaking at 3% this month and staying elevated until early next year when it's projected to return to 2%.
The best thing to do today is maintain the policy interest rate where it is. But I will stress that there is no risk-free path for the policy interest rate.
The bank decided to hold rates steady for now, but admits a lot could change in the coming months. If oil prices stay around $100 a barrel, consecutive rate hikes could be needed. At the same time, the bank says if new U.S. tariffs or trade restrictions are put in place, cuts may be needed to stimulate the economy.
The bank is committed to ensuring that Canadians continue to have confidence and price stability through this period of global upheaval.
So what does this all mean for anyone in the market for a new home? Mortgage experts say now may be the time to lock in a rate.
You can't time the market. The best bet for borrowers right now is to take out a rate hold and a pre-approval, because at least that way you have secured access to whatever today's rate pricing currently is.
With the potential for rate hikes already floated because of high oil prices, many real estate experts say now may be the time the housing market starts to heat up, with more buyers jumping off the sidelines. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Now to the future of a prime piece of real estate in downtown Toronto. The site of the former Hudson's Bay at Yonge and Bloor may soon be turned into a self-storage facility, an idea that's not sitting well with some residents in the neighborhood. CTV's Mike Walker reports.
Nearly 4 years after the Hudson's Bay store at Yonge and Bloor shuttered, there is now a proposal to transform most of the empty retail space into a self-storage warehouse.
It's probably useful, right? There's a lot of apartments, less space.
I just feel like this neighborhood is so modern and so upscale. Storage unit might not be the best.
In the rezoning application submitted to the city, property owners Brookfield Properties and Larco Investments are proposing a storage facility for levels 2 through to 5. The submission states leasing the large retail space that was once the Bay's flagship store has been difficult due to challenging market conditions, the decline of large format retail space, and unique site constraints. The building continues to sit vacant.
I think it's the wrong location. Let's get out of the city. Let the city be a city. Let it thrive, not sit with people's junk they don't need.
Can you imagine the traffic on top of that? Deliveries, dropping off, picking up.
Oh boy, no.
It's definitely an interesting location for storage, but I think a lot of people downtown need storage.
The proposal suggests a storage facility is a viable option with the downtown underserved amid intensification.
It sounds like a very unconventional proposal just because, you know, when you think about retail and you think about Yonge and Bloor, it is one of the marquee corners in the country, really.
Retail analyst Bruce Winder says the departure of department stores like Hudson's Bay has forced property owners to think outside the box amid an evolving retail landscape driven by online shopping.
You know, if anything, you have to divide it up into other retailers. The upside with self-storage is once you sign someone, and if you get enough people to store their merchandise there or products there, whatever it is, it's almost like an annuity.
As part of this proposal, existing parking and loading docks would be used for the storage facility. The ground and concourse level would be used for retail.
It's always good to see something. I mean, it'll be better than this, I guess. Nothing.
Restaurants, music, culture. Let's bring culture back.
This proposal is still in the preliminary stages, requiring a review by the city, public feedback, and ultimately a decision by council. Mike Walker, CTV News.
Okay, top stories now with Leanne Evans in studio. And Leanne, we're keeping an eye on a situation at Grand River Transit because more than 800 transit workers could be in a legal strike position a couple days from now.
Right, Tony, and it has many riders anxiously awaiting updates. Unifor Local 4304 told CTV News there would be a 48-hour notice if they were to strike. If so, all buses would stop running and customer service locations would be closed. Ion train service will continue. If there is a GRT strike, this would be the third in 5.5 years. Educators from across Ontario united today for what they called a province-wide day of action. They're speaking out over what they say is the Ford government's underfunding of the public education system. According to the Elementary Teachers Union, over 250,000 members across the province are pledging their support. The Ford government has said it looks forward to working with teachers to strengthen the education system.
And online tonight, I've decided we need to turn to some good news right now.
We certainly need some good news always.
A pair of swans, a favorite pair of swans, back from their winter retreat.
Yes, exactly. Many of our viewers, I think, will know these two. The Kitchener couple, Otis and Ophelia, are back, and you can once again see them in Kitchener's Victoria Park. You can read more about the pair and how they spent the winter. Scan the QR code, download the CTV News app, or go to ctvnewskitchener.ca. Hibernating through Canadian winter. They're onto something.
They are. They are. They also run that park, by the way.
They certainly do.
They've been around a while, and they've got a lot of respect from the local population.
They do, that's for sure.
All right, Leanne, thank you.
Thank you.
If you're out on the roads this time of year, you may notice a lot more motorcyclists riding alongside you. As concerns rise over recent motorcycle collisions, Waterloo Regional Police are reminding all road users to put safety first. CTV's Alexandra Hollick explains.
Revving up to keep roads safe. As temperatures rise, regional police are shifting gears, turning to two-wheeled patrol and sending a message to motorcyclists.
I would caution riders to take their time when they get out there and make sure that they're not riding like they were at the end of last season. They want to get out there and make sure their skills have knocked the rust off.
To prevent a possible collision.
One of the biggest causes we see with motorcycle collisions is speed, and I also say distracted driving is also another contributing factor to motorcycle collisions.
Last week, a motorcyclist was taken to hospital with serious but non-life-threatening injuries after a crash involving a sedan on Highway 85. There's no word on the cause of the collision, but police stress the importance of suiting up.
The motorcycle gear is quite effective in preventing serious injuries.
So in here, this is the zip-out liner.
From jackets to full-face helmets. This Waterloo motorcycle shop aims to get all its customers up to speed on safety.
Still see a lot of people in t-shirts and, shorts and sandals and stuff, which is, if you ever go down, you're in trouble.
Making sure riders are covered from their heads to their toes and everything in between.
Yeah, see?
Perfect. Safety is most important to me because, I'm a dad, I'm a family man, and to be protective on the road is, I've heard, the most important thing because anything could happen.
That's why police are urging everyone to pay attention.
Just be aware of your surroundings and keep your eyes open for motorcyclists. Ride as if they haven't been seen by any of the other motorists that are out there.
Alexandra Hollick, CTV News, Waterloo.
Canada's become the first G7 country to approve a generic version of Ozempic. Still to come on CTV News, what it means for those who take the drug and those who may want to in the future. If you're one of the millions of Canadians who take GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic or Wegovy for diabetes and weight loss, Canada's just become the first G7 country to approve a low-cost generic version. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin has more.
Months after Ozempic's patent expired, Health Canada has given a generic the go-ahead. And the approval of India's Dr. Reddy Laboratories' copy has been applauded by many patients and advocates.
And there hasn't been a whole lot of options available.
Obesity Canada's Eaton Patton says for him, semaglutides have been life-changing.
I had this voice in the back of my head always chirping at me, talking about, like, with that uncontrollable food drive. And having a treatment that allows me to gain control has been very, very impactful.
Like Ozempic, says Health Canada, the generic injection is indicated for the once-weekly treatment of adults with type 2 diabetes. But around 3 million Canadian adults currently take medication like Ozempic for diabetes and obesity. Still, doctors say some patients who would benefit steer clear because of money. The drug costs about $228 a month. Health Canada says many generic medications are 45 to 90% cheaper than the brand versions. And that price could go down with more generics on the market. Health Canada is reviewing 8 other submissions. That could also reduce expenses for provincial and private drug plans deciding to cover the generic. Approval comes after an extensive review of the generic's chemical composition and effects, but does not require manufacturers to do long-term effect studies, for instance, on heart attacks and strokes.
Based on the assumption that if it looks the same, it has the same biochemical properties, it's chemically the same drug, it should have the same long-term effects.
Experts applaud accessibility, but also warn against minimizing potential side effects.
This is a drug. It's not a candy. It's not a supplement. It is a medication.
The generic dosage approved now is for the treatment of diabetes, but advocates are watching to see what other generics will come and what the impact will be on the costs. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
And the province is committing new funds to help connect more Ontarians with fertility services faster. This is part of a 3-year pledge the Ministry of Health unveiled last year. It set out to increase the number of clinics, private and public, that offer access to publicly funded IVF services. The province says it will spend $100 million in 2026-2027 to support 27 clinics across Ontario, including 2 new IVF clinics. The Ontario Liberals say the new money is welcome, but better access to family doctors would help many families address fertility challenges without the need for other supports. We'll have more news in a moment. First, let's check in once again with Ashley.
Well, tomorrow might be the day to get up early and enjoy the sunshine. I'll have more details on what we can expect coming up after this. Stay with us. E-Talk starts at 7 tonight, then The Big Bang Theory, followed by MasterChef at 8, The Floor at 9, and cap your night off with Shark Tank at 10.
Tonight, families of Tumbler Ridge shooting victims sue OpenAI.
We have to understand exactly what these companies are doing.
The potential billion-dollar legal battle and how the ChatGPT maker is responding. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
Bounce 99.5 has the music you just can't quit. Home of Bounce Mornings with Angie Hill and Sarge. KW's Bounce 99.5. Listen on the free iHeartRadio app.
All right, we're going to check in with Leanne to find out what we're watching for 11:30. Leanne.
Well, Tony, the KW Titans have one more chance tonight to become this year's Basketball Super League champions. It's a winner-take-all Game 5 at the Odd. The Titans are coming off back-to-back losses against the Sudbury Five, but if they can get it done tonight, this will be their first ever championship title. Karis Mapp is at the game and will bring us all the highlights and post-game reaction at 11:30. Tony.
Love it. Leanne, thank you very much. It's a story we'll be watching watching closely and, enjoyed Karis's courtside reporting to set that up as well, especially being without a key player tonight.
Yes, I mean, go Titans, go. It's going to be a great match. And if you can get out there, go do so. I know there's a few tickets left, so head over and check them out.
It's one to watch. It is a week of local sports action, that's for sure.
And plus, it's cold outside.
So this is what I'm getting at. You need to forget about what's going on outside.
Yeah, get inside. Check it out. It's going to be nicer inside than outside. Although, if you're up early tomorrow morning, Tony, I know that's not really your cup of tea, but if you are up early, the sun will be shining, or should be shining, for a little bit cooler, but you're going to need a jacket and a bit of sunscreen.
6 a.m. Sure won't be.
I mean, I'll be there.
Yeah, you're an early riser. We know that. We would be horrible for a breakfast date because we would never be able to settle on a time.
No, it would have to be a weird lunchtime.
It would.
And both of us would sacrifice when we're hungry.
Heavy on the unch. Finally for us tonight, it was graduation day for the CNIB guide dog class of 2026.
After months of training, 24 dogs and their human partners have formally graduated. This year's class includes 15 guide dogs, 6 brood dogs, 3 ambassador dogs, and 1 buddy dog.
Being part of this program is so uplifting and freeing, where you go from trusting just an inanimate object such as the white cane and your cane skills to having a guide dog that can move you around obstacles.
And since starting with 2 puppies in 2017, CNIB has now graduated more than 120 guide dog partnerships, and they truly change lives, just like those service dogs that we've shown before on the show.
Absolutely. I mean, they are individuals' lifelines, and they do such a good job at not only training, but then doing their job when they're on duty.
No better way to end the show than a story about animals helping people. So we'll bid you a good night. See you tomorrow.